All right. I don't know if I'm going to use the audio for this video, but let's look at the forces that are going to be in this AtomsPast cat, not the cat, Godzilla cat. This of all the cats, this is a Godzilla cat. I have temporarily disengaged the small tiger from the table. All right. So for this very first battle report for AtomsPast, I'm going to do the giant returns. Dukes! For the love of Pete. Okay. Let's see if we can get through this without Dougal maiming some model. Okay. So this very first round of YouTube videos for battle reports, I am in the middle of moving, and so I only had some of my models to hand, and I felt like this actually helped represent AtomsPast really well. That, hey, I only have these models, and you can tell these are from like different time periods. These are old Warhammer Fantasy Dwarves, which was my first army, and I love them to death, and Ironbreakers are my bleepity favorite, and this was painted when I was like 17, a long time ago. And this guy was... I'm in the middle of a Dougal attack again, trying to save models. My gosh, Dukes. Am I going to have to figure out something else for this? And I love these models. Very first models, very first army I ever had. Big first foray into miniature gaming. I love them. These guys, so the story, well, actually, I'll go through everything, and then I'll say why I kind of picked this story for AtomsPast, the first round. So these guys are old, out of production. I have a terrible camera, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. These, I don't remember what they were called. I think they were called like the Tutagen. I don't remember. They were White Wolf Guard, and they're in like full plate, and in their rules, they were like full plate mail. They're cool. And I bought them back when Storm of Chaos was coming out. I have a couple models from there. Man, Games Workshop would have never lost me if they had stuck around with doing stuff like that. They haven't lost me. I still buy a lot of their stuff. Not recently, but with AtomsPast, I'm going to buy a lot more of their stuff because I've always loved their models and their worlds. But I like playing things my way, which AtomsPast lets you do. Wow, am I shilling enough for myself? Anyways, these guys are... Man, it's been years. They're these skeleton guys from War Machine and Hordes. Super cool faction, and that was a fantastic game. I don't know if anyone's still... I'm sure someone out there is still playing it. Fantastic game. Love this game. Love the models. Have a pretty decent amount of those models as well. I have some of them. These were slap chop painted, like test models. You can tell the brown on that guy is like a little bit different, and I'm still doing some testing with that. So this model is also a super old Warhammer Fantasy model. I think this guy might still be on sale though. You can tell by the sculpt. I love him. He's a fantastic wizard model. Absolutely love him. These are some newer guys that I got simply because I thought they were fantastic models. I just think they're super cool and creepy. And in this game, they're going to be this Necromancer's a part of his bodyguard. And then this is an Arachnarok spider from Warhammer Fantasy that my wife bought and painted, and it's just a fantastic model as well, and one of the ones that in the boxes I have packed right now. fits the bill. So that's all of the models that are going to be in this battle report. All right, 2 more rounds with Dougal. 1 lost, 1 temporarily victorious, and we're back. So these are some. I have more models than these, where that I could pull from, and I will for future videos. But this set of models, I was looking around at the models I had, and I wanted to make a quick battle report video, and this is going to be the main channel of how I market my game, which is not my strong suit. I wouldn't say making games is my strong suit, but it's what I want to be doing. I don't really want to be marketing. I'm not. Yeah. Anyways, so this I had this idea. I saw my wizard, and I have some other Empire guys and some other models from War Machine that kind of mix pretty well with Empire. I saw my wizard, and I had my dwarves, and I thought to myself, my first thought, because I have some slayers, and I eventually will do that battle, but the slayers are packed away. I might have access to them in a month, but we'll see. So my first idea was that he was going to be a necromancer and be reanimating these huge dudes, and some skelly boys. And I'd have not this big guy, but a different dwarf hero and some slayers and like a couple iron breakers, and maybe these Templars come along too on a mission to kind of kick this necromancer's butt. But I didn't have the slayers, and this other idea kind of formed for me that maybe this guy was a banished necromancer, and he fled to the mountains, and when this cave spider was like literally dying, he stumbled across it, and it was the first thing he successfully reanimated, because it was the last like instant before it died. So anyways, I had that thought, and I was like, oh, that's fun, because I saw both these models, and I was like, okay, I'm going to have him be a banished necromancer who's slowly forming an army up in the mountains, and he wants to ambush some dwarves, not these dwarves in particular, but he set up an ambush for dwarves on a trail in the mountains, because he wants to reanimate some tough dwarves and get a hold of their enchanted weapons, and he's building up his army. Maybe these boys are like a bunch of dwarves combined into these ogre type. Yeah, I just barely thought of that. And so he takes I'm going to pretend like I thought of that the entire time. So these are dead dwarves that he's cobbled together into these giant ogres of bone and armor. Oh, maybe. We'll see. I like that angle. So we'll say that for now. He wants to set up this ambush, and usually, because he's got this big boy always with him, his ambushes go pretty well for ambushing little dwarves. Well, these guys have come to the dwarf prince to get aid in a battle. And they're going, right now they're trying to, with all haste, take the prince to close to the battle to see what's going on, and then they'd send a messenger back if they're going to attack. Again, that's not perfect. That's not a perfect storyline. Like a dwarf prince wouldn't go out just on his own. He'd have rangers and stuff, and I have dwarf ranger models, but again, they're packed up. So the story is they are foolishly, with all haste, like middle of the night, taken off to go and meet. Oh yeah, it was the idea that in my mind was that they were going to go meet the leader of the Templars, because they needed a battle plan like right away. So they just took off, and this is just his bodyguard of the old Ironbreaker models. Yeah, that's the story. It's going to be a little ambush battle report, and it'll show you how you play AtomsPast, and that you can use any models, and will show you the rules for all of these models using the AtomsPast application that I built. So it's a program that you have access to the entire rulebook in the program, and you can create custom rules for your models that all follow like this point system that I have in there. And so you can create any rules for any model that you need, from a giant cave spider, an undead giant cave spider, all the way to a dwarf prince being held up by his shield bearers.